합니다. 예수님께서도 최후의 만찬에서 제자들에게 포도주를 건네며 새로운 언약을 맺으십니다. 제자들이 포도주를 다 마신 후 예수님께서는 제자들에게 혼인잔치에서 들었던 말씀을 하십니다.
But I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
This is exactly why when he gave them the cup, he actually says, this is the new covenant in my blood. I'm about to pour my blood. It's a promise. We're going to be together again, and we're going to mark it by drinking the wine. It's something important.
빵과 포도주는 예수님과의 새로운 언약을 의미하고 중요한 사건의 시작을 의미합니다.
In my Arab culture, you eat from the same bread and you drink from the same cup. The thought is that that which is in you is in me. It is a common union, communion, no longer two, but one. When Jesus says that at that Last Supper, this is my body given for you, broken for you. He's talking as a bridegroom to his bride. When he says to them, this is the cup of my blood in the new covenant, that's how they would seal the betrothal in the ancient wedding.
Well, when you think about the Galilean disciples, they understood exactly what it was saying regarding these things. They were familiar things.
The illustration was entirely clear to them. When Jesus said that, his Galilean disciples at the Last Supper heard only one thing: wedding.
복음서의 마지막 부분을 보면 제자들이 예수님께서 언제 다시 오실지만 묻고 왜 다시 오시는지는 묻지 않는 이유를 알 수 있습니다. 그들은 이미 가나의 혼인잔치에서 예수님의 첫 번째 기적을 경험하고 그 비유를 완벽히 파악했기 때문이죠. 물이 포도주로 바뀔 때 말입니다.
And I find this most fascinating, that the first miracle Jesus ever performed was at a wedding. And that wedding had the same cultural dynamic that Jesus was describing when he was explaining to his disciples about his soon return.
이렇게 약혼은 성사됐지만 단지 첫 단계가 지났을 뿐입니다. 1년이 넘게 진행되는 결혼식은 재림에 대한 또 다른 비밀을 보여줍니다.
Now the betrothal ceremony is finished, and the families rejoicing, partying in the streets go back to their houses. But this is just the beginning now of an entire year of preparations that goes into making the way for the wedding.
엄밀히 따지면 신랑과 신부는 언약을 통해 하나가 됐지만 본격적인 결혼식 준비는 지금부터 시작됩니다. 신랑은 피로연이 열릴 때까지 신부와 떨어져 지내야 합니다. 신랑은 신부와 다시 만나는 날까지 결혼식 준비를 합니다. 그동안 목재를 구해 아버지 집에 새로운 방을 지어야 하죠. 피로연을 준비하고 새로운 방에 놓을 가구, 이불, 등불, 그릇 등을 마련합니다. 이때 학자들은 예수님께서 숨겨놓으신 큰 비밀을 발견했습니다. 십자가에 매달리시기 전 예수님께서는 제자들에게 당신 또한 떠나야 한다고 말씀하십니다.
I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also.
I'm going to prepare a place for you. This is key, especially when we think about the first century Galilean experience and culture. I'm going away. A Galilean would have understood that perfectly to mean that he's going to go away to prepare a new home. He's going to go prepare a place for his bride personally. And then Jesus said something that they all understood. I'm going to come back and get you, that where I am, there you may be also.
But then he's not leaving before he's making a verbal promise that he's about to come back and take us. And where he is, we will also be. And it's very important that we understand, he's not saying, so where you are, I will also be. It's where I am, you will also be.
He is speaking as a bridegroom to his bride, and they knew it. They knew it because this was the culture of that day. It is so tragic, for lack of a better word. They don't understand the profound depth of the culture. You cannot separate the culture from the Gospels. If you take the culture out of the Gospels, you virtually gut out the entire meaning of it.
갈릴리 결혼식에서는 신랑이 신부를 아버지의 집으로 데려가지만 예수님께서는 천국을 말씀하신 거죠. 신랑이신 주님의 신부가 될 자들만 갈 수 있는 곳을 말입니다.
It's Jesus who introduced the doctrine of the rapture to us. I'm going to come and pick you up, take you back where I've been. You gotta understand something. If you don't have that event taking place in your theology, you've got the wrong Jesus. If Jesus doesn't come back for his church, then we all have the wrong Jesus. He so has to come back that it's mandatory. It is absolutely a definitive event. It defines either we have the right Jesus or the wrong Jesus based upon the biblical Jesus coming back or not. He has to come back.
He said, I'm going away, but I'm going away to prepare a place for you. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring you to me. Well, hello, that sounds to me like a rapture.
또 예수님께서는 제자들에게 다시 오실 그날에 세상에 남아 죽음을 맛보지 않은 자들이 있을 것이다 라고 강조하십니다. 신랑과 신부가 다시 만나는 날까지 아직 많은 과정이 남았습니다. 신랑이 새로운 집을 마련할 때 신부에게는 어떤 의무가 있을까요? 신부는 신랑이 데리러 올 때를 위해 항상 기다리고 준비해야 합니다.
The bride then takes the next year to put together a wedding dress and other accoutrements for the particular wedding. She's got to buy with her bridesmaids all kinds of pieces of cloth.
아름다운 결혼 예복을 준비해야 하죠. 만약 마을에 시장이 없다면 결혼 예복에 필요한 재료를 구하기 힘들어집니다. 가끔은 보부상을 기다렸다가 재료를 구하는데 이 과정은 매우 복잡하고 돈도 많이 들며 수개월이 걸리기도 하는 고된 일입니다. 하지만 그것으로 끝이 아닙니다. 결혼 예복이 완성되더라도 신부는 항상 그날을 대비하며 순결한 마음으로 신랑을 기다려야 합니다. 아무리 오래 걸려도 말이죠.
The bride was to be always ready for her groom to come back and take her to that place that he had prepared for her. The bride would just not sit and wait. The bride was to occupy until her bridegroom came.
이때부터 상황이 흥미로워집니다. 당시 갈릴리에서는 아버지 집에서 열리는 피로연을 준비하는데 약 1년이 걸린다고 알려져 있습니다. 하지만 최근 발견된 증거는 우리에게 큰 충격과 함께 재림에 대한 새로운 시각을 제공합니다. 바로 결혼식의 모든 과정을 준비하면서도 신랑과 신부는 물론 그 누구도 결혼식 날짜를 모른다는 것입니다. 놀랍지 않으세요?
The exact minute of the actual ceremony of the wedding was not known.
Yeah, the bride just did not know the day or the hour that her bridegroom was coming, so she always had to be ready.
마을 사람들 중 누구도 알지 못합니다. 단 한 사람을 제외하고 말이죠.
No one knew the day or the hour of this wedding. Not the son, not anyone else, only the father of the bridegroom.
오직 신랑의 아버지만 결혼식의 때를 정확하게 알고 있습니다. 그는 약혼식에서 아들을 대신해 서약서를 읽는 사람이며 또 아들이 신부를 얻을 수 있도록 예물을 제공하는 사람입니다. 신랑의 아버지만이 그날의 정확한 시간을 유일하게 알고 있는 거죠.
All the types of weddings in the regions, whether among Arabs, Jews, or other people, were all predictable. You would take a year to prepare for that wedding, but at the end of that year, the wedding would take place on a designated day. This is what made a Galilean wedding different than all the weddings in the area, because the bridegroom would finish building his room, he would finish with the feast, and then he would go to his father and say, "Father, I'm done. I want my bride." And the father would say, "I'll tell you when." For the Galileans, it was a surprise wedding.
The son would go home to the father's house, and in the Middle East they do this, but specifically you see this in the Galilee to this day, where the son adds on to the house. It's one portion built upon another, extending the home, enlarging the home. And so the father would have been the one with absolute preview over what's going on. It's the father who tells the son, "That's it, you're done." And then the father would give the announcement, "Son, go get your bride."
The father would be the one who would determine the day and the hour, and he would say to the groom, "Okay, now's the time. The day and the hour has come. The bridal chamber, that place that you've prepared, was complete." He would say, "Okay, now, this is the day, this is the hour, go get your bride."
This goes back now to several accounts in the Bible where Jesus tells his disciples that no one knows the day or the hour when I'm going to come. They wanted to know if he was going to establish the kingdom. And he says, no, you don't understand. No one knows when I'm going to come back for my bride. The only person that could send the bridegroom to get the bride was the Father. The only person that could send Jesus to come back to the earth is his Father.
제자들은